Hey guys, so today I'm coming back with you with another video. It has been a while. So today is gonna be another one of my creative videos and I will be painting an animation cell. If you don't know what that is, it's basically like a keyframe from either an anime, a cartoon, you know, a movie, whatever you have, anything that's virtually animated, hand-drawn and hand-painted on a plastic sheet of paper. To make life a little bit easier, I taped the plastic sheet onto the paper so that it wouldn't move around. As you can see here, I already took a regular piece of paper and I traced an image of, in this case, Itachi from Naruto. And I messed up because I drew it on the other way. So you have to flip the image if you want it to show up the right way. So I ended up tracing it twice. But you will need this before you paint. It will make life a little easier. I found this image in particular online and I just happened to know what episode it was from, so I already knew what colors I'll be using in advance as well. So the reason why this honestly took me so long is because I couldn't get my hands on these plastic sheets of paper, which are very, very particular. You almost can't find them anywhere, so I had to order some on eBay and it was a whole process of them getting to me. I started tracing with a regular Sharpie. If you have a thinner pen, it might be helpful. It will make it look a little bit more realistic, but if you don't, a Sharpie will do just fine. Let it dry for a couple of minutes and then you can go ahead and start painting right away. Something I also learned a little bit later on that I wish I had paid a little more attention to was that you really need to stay in the lines. So I honestly forgot I was supposed to go over with like my nail to scrape off a little bit of the extra paint that had gotten outside of the lines, but I never ended up doing that. So it did cause a bit of a problem in the end, but I'm not too worked up about it because it ended up looking a lot better than I expected anyway. But that is something to keep in mind, that, you know, the initial layer is very important. Just stay in between the lines. Then the rest, you can go over all the paint you need. And then when you're layering, then it's like, it matters less even what color you use to layer over. Obviously don't layer, you know, the initial light color with a darker one because it will shade it and will make it darker. So just layer lights with lights, darks with darks. All I'm saying is that the color necessarily doesn't really matter.
Colors of the masquerade, watch as they fall away, faceless under faces made. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Spring would lie in summer showers, in my hair were winter flowers. And weeks went by but felt like hours, seasons multiplying power that I found in winter flowers. I see rivers beyond the light, ancient roads in broken design, angels running through our minds. Look out, your city's built on marble floors, neon lights in the falling snow. Nights back in Tokyo, and weeks went by but felt like hours. Spring would lie in summer showers, in my hair were winter flowers. And weeks went by but felt like hours, seasons multiplying power that I found in.
I suggest going over the small areas first and then going over the big ones later. I'm not really sure if that's the correct way, but it worked for me. And I was very careful in the beginning, but then later on as you start painting, you realize that, you know, it's the back of the painting anyway, so it's not really gonna matter if you mess up too much or stay between the lines.
And we said, this has only just begun. In the end, time forever favors the young. And we said,
You will also see me try to match the colors as best as I can with the image on my phone, but you know, it wasn't exactly the ones that were there, but in the end I think I was glad that everything came together nicely either way, because I couldn't replicate the darkest colors possible. I think it would have turned out way too dark. So for example, for the skin tone you'll see later, I ended up choosing a bit of a lighter shade. Usually also if you want to go a step further, you can take another cell sheet and paint the background and it'll actually look like it's 3D. I decided on not doing that, to be honest, because it would have taken a bit too long and the background in this case wasn't that interesting, so I just left it as it was. I was very pleasantly surprised how I painted with acrylic and the acrylic dried incredibly fast. You will also have to do a couple of layers of this, and what I found was helpful, and this was a bit later on, is that I was working with sunlight, so if I lifted up a little bit like the plastic sheet, I could see where the sunlight was coming in and where I needed to paint over so I would make the layer a little bit more solid so I didn't have any gaps. The skin tone was probably the thing that I was worried about the most. You can mess this up very easily, but take your time mixing the colors and don't rush it. This took me about, I think, maybe 3-4 hours altogether. Somewhere in between, I'm not sure how this happened, but I ended up scratching some of the paint off on the nose. I don't know how this happened, and it was such like a central point as well, so I kind of felt sad a little bit, but then I tried to cover it up and I think it worked okay. And if you don't get up too close, it'll be fine. In general with these things, usually if you don't get up too close, it looks amazing, and if you do, then you start picking out the little details. Anyway, that's it for this week's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll probably create another one. I'm not sure what character I'll do next. Probably something from My Hero Academia since I finished it recently. But yeah, please look forward to that. I might actually make a real-time version, so you'll see me painting in real time, but I'm not sure yet. Until then though, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.